Okay, so we're live. We're late. Um, and so I don't know if anybody's even going to be on here because I'm running late and everything. But I was just telling Kim, well, anyways, welcome to the Immortals After Dark read along. Again, I had technical issues. So I'm very frustrated because I knew this would be an issue with doing this read along is my internet issues and if I was going to be able to connect every live show. And sure enough, my internet was working. It's working fine until I go into the studio and then it kicks me out. So I'm probably going to be calling Starlink to see how much it costs, how much to set it up, because that's really the only thing I have out where I live. I live in the mountains. We don't have any internet. I can only use my Verizon. And it's like, we don't even have the at-home Verizon, which is higher speed. It doesn't do that where we live either. So it's kind of, anyways, so thank you, Kim, for being patient with me. Of course, that was happening like right when we're getting on. So I don't even have my questions with me. This is probably going to be a really quick live show, or we'll just do random discussion. It won't be that like whatever, but we'll see as people are getting on. Hopefully people will join, but I don't know. How are you doing, Kim?
I'm doing good. Kicking off spring break, so it's awesome.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. So we're winding down.
Yeah.
Getting to the end of the year, but yeah, doing good. Finished the.
Are you a teacher?
Yes.
Oh, awesome. So
yeah.
So you need this break.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I have so much respect for teachers. My brother's wife is a teacher. Like, I'm always jealous because I'm like, man, you got the whole summer off. But again, like the stuff you have to deal with, I don't think you really have the summer off. But
technically, yeah, we split our paychecks through 12 months, so it's not technically off. But yeah, we need it.
Yeah.
To recover emotionally, mentally, the whole nine. Getting ready for the year. Yeah.
When you do middle school, like that's a tough age to do too. Yeah. I feel like
7th graders, gotta love them.
Why isn't this going? My thing's doing weird things. That was weird. Usually I just click on the comment, it goes up, and it was saying show on stage. I don't know why it's doing that. Okay. Anyways, more technical issues. Okay, so Ruth says, hi, Amber. Hi, Kim. I'm not going to be able to stay for live show, but we'll catch it later. Technology is great when it works.
Yes.
Yeah. Like internet, like you can't live without internet now. Like I just, and it sucks being like out where I'm at, like I can't do any of it's not even let me scroll through these comments. What is going on? Okay, something's up with my phone. So we'll see. We'll see what happens here. Just many issues. Do you see the comments on your thing too? Or
I can try.
I think we only have one, but
to chat and let me see. It may put me off screen. I don't know, but let me click see.
Mine, okay, I only had the one comment, but I thought it showed another one, so it was
it's the only one that
I think we only I don't think really anybody's really watching right now, but whatever, they can catch it later, since I jumped on late and had issues. But so we'll go ahead and get started. So the first book I know you kind of had issues with, which was Dark Needs at Night's Edge, I think, right? Some of these titles I keep forgetting.
Yeah, everything, they're so similar. I can't.
Yeah, like I think it's Dark Needs at Night's Edge, which is Conrad Roth and Noemi. And I know in our Discord, like I know you were kind of having a slow go with that one. And it ended up being like one of my favorites.
Yeah, like it started off real well. It just kind of slogged in the middle. Like I said, as soon as you got out of the house, it picked right back up, and I enjoyed that part. And I enjoyed this kind of the setup, but it seemed like repetitive, kind of how like the high was for you guys on the book before. That's kind of how imagined you guys were feeling. But overall I enjoyed it for the most part. It was, like I said, that one area. So I think it ended up being around a 3-star for me on that one. But for a while it was a low, like a 2.5, but then the ending kind of brought it all back. But yeah,
it's so funny because I gave it like 5 stars.
Oh yeah.
So like I loved it. I think I just really liked the vibes. I liked like it was so unique, you know, like I think you know, and I was tired of the Valkyrie stuff. So like having it be like a phantom ghost type of thing was really unique. I liked like the setting in the mansion. And I also liked because it was like they couldn't touch. So it was like they really got to like get to know each other. And so I really liked those like vibes in it. And I do get what you're saying where it's like a little slow. I think it went fast for me. I don't know. I listened to an audiobook. I don't know if you did too.
I did.
But yeah, it went pretty quick with that. So I get like this stuff in the house can be kind of repetitive. I don't know. I just really loved that setting. It felt more like gothic, almost like historical romance vibes kind of was filling me, even though it's current timeline. But with her coming from a different time, you know, like we're not coming from a time, but originally when she died.
Right.
So I thought that was really interesting. And I was like, how is Cressley Cole going to make this work? Like what's going to happen? I did really like that it tied in Mariquetta coming back into it. Right. And so I liked seeing her again. And there's the cat. We got to have the cat involved.
Yep.
Each life.
Each life.
Yep. How did you like rate the hero? Did you like Conrad or?
I mean, overall, I love the premise of the story. Like that, I didn't have any problem with that. I did like him. It was kind of in a similar vein to, I think, Sebastian, where he hated what he was, which I understood because he grew up, he went into that society to fight vampires, and then he was changed into one. But again, it's like if you hate it that much, walk into the sun. I mean, and I understand, and he does come around to it and accepts it and all that, but he wasn't come across quite as whiny as Sebastian. So yeah, I enjoyed him, and I kind of enjoyed her dance, you know, her dancing motif and things like that. And I understood, you know, they did need that time in the house. I understand too that it was just a little bit more, I guess, repetitive, and that was where that kind of dropped down. But yeah, I enjoyed her backstory, how she was, and there was something about the relationship that did bug me, but I can't remember what it was. It's been so long. Beginning of the month. I
know, right? Remember last time I was like, I'm gonna write notes. I didn't write any notes again this time. So I was like, oh, okay. I was like trying to get questions together to figure out. I don't even have them with me, so whatever.
But
I like the hero
where he was very angry at her. But he wasn't very open and honest with her either. But you know, because she was going to tell him, and I think that's what it is. It's getting to me. It's the miscommunication, because if they'd only spoken, none of the things would happen.
Which happens in both these books. Both these books have that issue.
That is, I think it's becoming, because it's like, just tell her. And then he wouldn't have cut off her hand because she was coming that night to give him the key to explain all of that. And now he didn't believe God, and that was annoying. And he didn't tell her about the dream demon or whatever it was that, you know, would come and do that. So, you know, if you just speak up, half of these troubles wouldn't happen. So that I'm finding I don't like that trope as much, and it's becoming almost in every book in some
a theme of Cressley Cole's, maybe that's what she does, you know, is like the hiding the truth, like type of things. So like, I mean, and it was kind of annoying because I was frustrated with the heroine, because I'm like, oh, here we go, she has the key the whole time and she's not gonna tell him, and then he's gonna freak out, which I could understand why he was pissed.
Right.
But I like that it didn't drag that out too long.
Right.
Was
Yeah.
like that issue at least. But I felt like the second book really dragged. It was like the entire book he was lying. But I did really like Conrad. I thought it was interesting seeing one of the vampires that actually had the red eyes that was actually feeding off humans and going kind of mad. So I liked that. I like how each of these books is kind of building on the world a little bit more and kind of drawing everybody together. And everybody's like connected in a way. So I really liked like discovering that type of vampire too, because we just had like kind of like the one side or whatever. So I really liked him. I thought, it was interesting. I thought it was kind of funny where we have like a virgin hero because he had never been with anybody. He was in that order type of thing before he was churned. That's one thing I really like about her vampires in this story is like, I'm sorry, I don't know if like it's really dark on my thing, but I'm in my car outside. But
no, it's actually good quality. It's good.
Okay.
Image.
Yeah, so I really liked that. I liked it, like, because you kind of see that, we already knew that if they drink off them, they get like their memories and kind of can go mad. But then also like you could take some of their powers or whatever. So I thought that was interesting. So I thought it really picked up once they did leave the house and stuff.
Yeah.
And then all the stuff that was going on with the demon and stuff. So I thought that was good. So I really liked the Mariquetta part too, because she really put herself at like great risk with the mirrors and everything to help them. And so I really liked that because, I actually really enjoyed Bowen and Mariquetta's book.
Yeah.
So to see them again and then Bowen being like, this ain't ever happening again. Like, I'm not, my woman is not going through this again.
Right.
But she's like becoming so powerful, so I thought that was really cool. And I like the heroine. Like I read on like when I was looking up questions and stuff, like some people were like split about her. And I'm like, oh, I really liked her because she knew what she wants. She's like a more experienced heroine than sexually than he was. And I just thought, if she was like stuck in this miserable existence for so long. And then when he finally like gets to see her and stuff. So I don't know. I really liked it. I thought it was a completely different vibe than like the other ones. So I was enjoying it because me, I wanted a break from the freaking Valkyries. I was like, is every single book going to be a Valkyrie? Like I'm kind of over it. So, so I really liked it. But I do get like, it could be kind of slow for some people, it's interesting because it's like these books are so like you could go either way. Like you understand people that are be like a lower rating and then people that were give it like a higher rating.
Right.
So I am interested, like the series is kind of building on itself and each one is getting kind of more interesting. And so I liked because we previously were introduced to Cadian. And then he was brought up again in this, which was really interesting with him, like almost like killing her or whatever. Like, and then him being like, "Oh, this vampire is not going to help me now."
Nope.
And then that kind of carried into his book. So, any other thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I enjoyed that, even though he does, and it kind of went into more depth of when he does drink from the main source, that even though he has all these memories, he could not access the knowledge that they really needed. Of course, he didn't tell them that. So it went into more depth, and I do like how she introduced and also brings back the characters like you were talking about. You almost know where the next book's going by who they introduce and interact with, which leads into what I think will be the book after this. I could be completely wrong. But Roth's, no, not Roth's, the brother to Cadian, I can't.
God, I just lost his name.
Rystrom. Yeah, Rystrom. I think it's gonna.
Roth was like the other guy helping them, right?
Yeah, Rystrom always get.
Yeah.
Anyways, I think this is just a hypothesis, kind of spinning off of that the sister of the two evil, the sorcerer, is going to be his chosen. This is a hypothesis.
Yeah.
Unless she
Yeah,
grounded him into believing that.
I think it is for sure. And sorry, I have to move
she was introduced. Yeah.
Sorry, I have to move my phone now in front of my AC because it says it's overheating out in my car doing this. So this is like, maybe I should make this quick because my phone could probably go off at any point. So we'll just jump into the next one because I don't even think anybody's watching right now. So let's just quickly do this. This has been kind of a shit show live, but anyways, so the next one is, I think, the something
Dark Desires After Dusk.
Desires After Dusk. These titles get me. Like, I'm like, what is it again? So hopefully you can't hear my AC too loud, but so this one.
Uh-oh.
This is insane. I'm just gonna. We might just have to cancel this. I don't know. It's just not working.
I just messaged you on Instagram. I said we can call it today and then just discuss the second book in the live.
I'm gonna try and get some better internet, hopefully, or I'll plan a different situation next time because this has just been a disaster. I apologize to everybody that is going to be watching this later, at least, because I don't think anybody's even watching right now because it's been such a mess. I am so sorry, Kim. I really appreciate you trying to do this with me, but hopefully next time I will have a better situation.
It'll be fine.
I think it's okay right now, so we can briefly say what we kind of thought, and then if I get kicked off, I get kicked off. And of course, today it's hot in San Diego when it was raining all week before, but I'll just say I gave this one, the second one, like 4.5 stars. I enjoyed it. I just thought the ending was too rushed, where it was like I didn't think he groveled enough for what he did. And then like with, I don't know, it was just kind of like summed up really quickly. There was no thing, like I think you brought up like with her boyfriend or whatever. Also, it was kind of like she was totally kind of already cheating on him anyways, like, with him.
But they didn't actually do any
much until
they
I
broke
think
it
it was
off.
kind of obvious he was going to be stealing from her. Like, I thought that was pretty obvious, but
yeah, I had seen something kind of similar to that in previous books. So as soon as they said, no, he was off at the conference because she can't handle, the sensory and stuff. It's like, and that's why I said I knew that's what he was doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really wanted there to be a confrontation or something in person, not just over the phone. Because he did a lot. That's a lot. 'Cause that was what they were together, linked minds and stuff, and then he was just ripping her off. So I wanted more to that other than just a one or two lines in a discussion at the end. Like, I wanted that plot to tie up easier. And she normally doesn't do that in most of the previous books. She's always tied up the ends really well.
Yeah. I think like it was just, with him lying to her so much and then her getting like everything that happened, I'm like, I wanted him to do a little bit more than like, oh, this is our house. Like, forgive me, blah, blah, blah. And it was like, oh, okay, that was wrapped up quickly. I did like the introduction, like everything that was going on with his brother too. And then the next one is going to be his with that sorceress chick. I was like, oh yeah, I was like, oh, that looks good. What was interesting was like, he was captured by her and then almost like she was going to breed him so that she could have like the heir. And then he, when he finds his brother's like actually at home or whatever, and like she's tied up or whatever. And I was like, oh, okay. So he turned things around. So I'm definitely interested in that one, to see how that one goes. But I thought this was cool. I do get kind of bored sometimes when it's like this road trip, constant road trip thing. And she's done that in a few of her books so far. So it's kind of felt a little repetitive. But I think that's just because we're reading them like back to back. Yeah. So, but I thought it was, I thought it was interesting. The whole vessel thing was interesting, like all these other characters that were brought in. So, so what did you end up rating this one?
I haven't gone in yet, but I think it's going to be a 5-star because I really enjoyed it. I liked again how she progressed from her very neurotic, OCD style of, having to rely on pills. And I still want to know how her father, because they said she was part Fury and Valkyrie. Yeah. But her father was a human. So I don't know how that happened. Yeah. So that was why I was wondering, it's like, how did that happen? Because that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, that was kind of confusing.
But I liked, he did, take off his horns for her, but he, also found a house that everything could be divided by 3 or added up to 3. So that was interesting. Yeah. To find a specific home. So that was pretty cool. He was an interesting character. I knew I was from the previous books he was in, I knew he would be an interesting character to read. But I did like their growth together, both of them, because he is, again, living with guilt for 900 years, which I didn't think. I mean, he's only one individual, and to put all the blame on one individual when you got an entire
and he lost his, like, adopted family and everything. And so it's like he's a very tortured.
Yeah,
he was like a tortured hero.
When his brother had a look of disappointment on his face, he's burying the people who raised him. Yeah. So I didn't like that. That they're looking down like that. And now the whole thing that, you have to get the sword because all the demon kind, they're going to rise up to fight this person. And he has to give up her. And he kind of explained why he couldn't tell her because the wizard could read her mind and know it was fake. So I kind of understood. So she did wrap that up as for that miscommunication part. That kind of made sense.
I did like how she kind of like saved herself, too, where it was like, she really like, it's like she really fought and became like, and she didn't need him to come like rescue her. Like she really did it on her own. I do have to say, like in both these books, Nyx again is like a standout. And I'm like, I don't know if she has a book, but she is like my favorite character. She's like the best. And she totally instigates things and just fucks with people and is just like, oh, I'm crazy. So I can do whatever I want. So like, I love Nyx's character. Like, with me being not into the Valkyries, like it's surprising. Like Nyx is like one of my favorite characters so far in the series. So I don't know if she has a book or not, but I hope she does.
Because all these books we're reading now, I haven't read, so everything is new.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. There was what else? And then that I enjoyed the whole ghost thing on the bridge. That was pretty cool. That they only really responded to her and were kicking his butt. It was hilarious. So I enjoyed that part of the road trip. Made it interesting to get the coordinates.
Yeah, it was cool. Yeah, there's so many side characters introduced, like other people introduced in this. So you can see how she's doing that in each of the books, and it's just growing. Like the lore is getting bigger and the world building. So I really do like that part of it. I did think I liked Cadion. He was like, dirty talking, kind of like bad boy demon. Right. But like, he was gone for the woman, like they all are. So I really liked that. He just needed to tell her a little sooner, but you kind of understood why he didn't. So like that didn't bring it down for me at all. I think my thing was I wanted just a little bit more. It just wrapped up too quickly for me at the end, and so that's kind of why I just took off like half a star, because it was still really good. Like I think they're getting better and better for me. So so
what was that one? I just had a thought and it went out. Oh yeah, why I want to know why she didn't use her scream, because it says that it could break windows and stuff, and she was or it could have ruptured his ears and do all sorts of things to him and those dead creatures things. So I was curious as to why she didn't bring that back.
Because I thought she did use it when like she was running and going against all those things. Then I think she used the scream there and was like attacking him already.
I think that was
like near the end or whatever.
I thought it was at the very beginning when she was going against basically the cultist demons who were trying to impregnate her, and she didn't know what she was. She just screamed. But then after that, it wasn't really used. It's like, well, that would have been a great defense. But overall, it was good. I enjoyed it. I am looking forward to the other books that are coming.
So the next one is going to be his brothers. So I'm really interested to see that and see like, because I was irritated with his brother and how he treated him. Yes, so I think it's going to be kind of good to see him get a little worked over with the sorceress.
And then his personality changed from how he was at the beginning to when he opened the door to his brother. Again, he's like, I don't care. He's like no longer really about the throne, about the sword. It's like, really?
Yeah, I think it's like when your mate gets involved and you find your mate, like that's it. Like, so now he's, which was so dumb of him and Cadion, where they're like, oh, we give up our mate for the crown type of thing to Nyx and like the previous book too. And it's like, no, you won't. It's your mate. So.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Now it's different with his mate, but Cadion, you can get rid of yours. That was
it's messed up.
Cool. That is very messy.
So I had a good time with it, but I'm excited. I mean, I'm excited to continue to get to the next one too.
Yep, absolutely. I had to figure out which one that is. I haven't looked that far ahead, but
like the demon kiss. I can't oh my god, the names are like
are way out there.
I know, I have to and then I'll mix them up, mix up the titles together. So I'm like, wait, which one is it? Like something demon kiss or something. I don't know. And then the other one had two different names. So it's one's Untouchable, which is like the audiobook. So I had to kind of clarify that in my TBR because it's kind of confusing. The ebook is I think a bind up with another author. And so so I was like, I'm not buying, and it wasn't Kindle Unlimited for that one. So I'm like, I'm not buying that. I'd rather just do the audiobook where it's just Cressley Cole's story. Right. So I don't know if maybe it's a novella or something, maybe. And I think it's one of the other Roth brothers for that one. So that one's after Cadion's brothers, right? Is it Rydstrom?
Right.
Anyways, it's after so it's after that book, but yeah, I was like, oh shoot. I'm like, that's kind of confusing when I saw that. I was like, there
Yeah,
was two different
so
type of titles.
6 is Kiss of the Demon King, which is Ride
Yeah, there
Strap.
it is.
See if I can find book 7. Yeah, I see what you're talking about. Deep Kiss of Winter includes Immortals After
Yeah.
Dark 7 and Alien Huntress 3.5. So I'll have to
Yeah,
figure
so
it
then like it's the one that you can get that's like on Audible or audiobook is it's called Untouchable, and I think it's just that same story basically.
Gotcha.
So whichever one people want to do, like I'll probably just do the audiobook on it, but because I've been really enjoying the audiobooks. They're really well done.
Right.
So well, I guess we should wrap this up since this has been such a disaster, but thank you so much, Kim, for doing this with me. I am going to figure something out. I have to for the next one.
Okay.
But what are you reading right now?
I am almost finished with Den of Vipers. It's
Oh, yeah, I saw that you're reading that. Yeah, that one's a crazy one.
It is. I just happened to find I was scrolling through Instagram, and they had, like, I know it's digital art or whatever, and it's like, oh, that looks interesting. I like the character representation, so I pulled it up, went into it blind, didn't read what the synopsis was really going to be
Had
about.
no idea what you were in for.
Oh yeah. It reminds me a lot of some of the more violent MC romances that I've read in the past on the torture side, but I'm not used to it being turned towards the female as much. So that took some getting used to, but it's very interesting.
Crazy.
It is a crazy, crazy ride. So that's why I said you may want to do the triggers went into it blind, and it is some of it is hard to read, but overall it's a good story. So,
yeah, I liked it.
Yeah.
I just started Gianna Darling's most recent release. I'm on her ALC team. So it's like I think it's My Dark Fairy Tale. It's like a new mafia one.
Okay.
And it's set in Italy and stuff. So that was it's kind of cool. So I'm starting that one, and hopefully, I think I'm pretty sure I'll enjoy it. I always love Gianna Darling's books. So, but that's kind of where I'm at. So, well, let's just wrap this up because I'm holding my phone up against the AC in the car.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much, Kim. Thank you for bearing with me and all my technical issues. And hopefully we won't have this happen next time.
Okay. No problem.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.